I don't think there's really anything close to this rivalry between Brady and Peyton Manning.
The greatest quarterback rivalry ever.
Peyton Manning is such a command of that field, better than anybody I've ever seen.
Tom Brady is an exceptional person, and he does his thing with great effort and never gives up.
They're two of the best quarterbacks that ever played the game. They're playing at the same time on really, really good teams. This rivalry between Peyton and Tom is one of a kind, and we're just privileged that we're here to see it.
They won Super Bowls, have history, and year out, they're always putting up good numbers. I'm sure they're watching each other, and that's what a rivalry is about.
There is a level of respect for their greatness. That dynamic is what makes things so interesting, why people want to see them play against one another.
Watching two of the best when all the chips are on the table, that's always something that fascinates the fans, and I think that's what gives professional sports its appeal.
People love excellence, commitment, sacrifice, drive. Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, they epitomize all those qualities.
My name is Bryce Raven. As you can see the video before that I showed you, it's between Tom Brady and Peyton Manning, one of the greatest rivalries that the NFL has ever seen over the past 30 years. Actually, in its whole existence since the 1920s. And you see that Tom Brady has been in the league since 2000 and Peyton Manning since 1998. And that span of time that they were in the NFL together from 2000 to 2015, they had a total of 17 games together. They played against each other 17 times. No other quarterback rivalry has ever spanned that well over time. Now, this debate is about who is the greatest of this era. Now, we have people on both sides. We have people on the side of, Peyton Manning, which I think is the greatest quarterback of this era. And then you have Tom Brady. I don't have a Tom Brady jersey because I don't think Tom Brady's greatest of all time or in this era, but I can make an argument for both of them because the thing is that they both have their good attributes and their bad attributes. First off, Peyton Manning, here's why he's the GOAT. Peyton Manning, over the span of the last few years, has accumulated over numerous amounts of accolades. I'm talking, he has the most NFL MVPs. He has won a Super Bowl with 2 different teams. Yes, Tom Brady's done that, but we're on Peyton Manning right now. Peyton Manning, according to CBS Sports and Pro Football Focus, in an article written, he is considered the greatest. Here's why. He has more points in the Hall of Fame, like on Hall of Fame voting scale, than any other quarterback. Even Tom Brady, Joe Montana, any other quarterback. It's because of the accolades he's accumulated over the past few years. Some of Peyton Manning's stats, the great things about Peyton Manning, not just his stats, but head-to-head against Tom Brady. He has beat Tom Brady in the playoffs 3 times? And every time he has beaten Tom Brady, guess what? It has been to go to the Super Bowl. He won 2 out of those 3 Super Bowls when he was facing Tom Brady. What does that tell you? Peyton Manning clearly has his edge in the playoffs. And Peyton Manning has had great games against Tom Brady, and he's had his bad games. But you know what? That's just them overall. Overall, though, Peyton Manning won over 200 games, has thrown the most touchdowns in NFL history at one point, threw the most passing yards in NFL history at one point. He still holds a single-season record for 55 touchdowns and 10 interceptions in one season, along with 5,477 yards. Still has not yet been broken. He also has a single game record of 7 touchdowns. He tied that with a few other quarterbacks. Tom Brady hasn't done that. Tom Brady hasn't eclipsed over 50 plus touchdowns in a year. He also hasn't had over 5 MVPs. He also hasn't taken 4 different head coaches to a Super Bowl. He also hasn't taken 2 different teams to the Super Bowl on 4 separate occasions. I mean, I can make the case for Peyton Manning any day of the week. Peyton Manning's the greatest quarterback. He led teams that were down in the dumps to being one of the greatest teams of all time. His rookie season, he started 2-14, and then the next year 13-3. And then from there on out, he just kept winning and winning and winning and winning and winning. After that, he never really had a losing season at all. He also had the most consecutive starts for a quarterback at the time before he was, unfortunately, had to go out because of a neck injury back in 2011, which made the trade to my favorite football team, the Denver Broncos, where he helped us get to 2 Super Bowls and 1 win in the Super Bowl. Overall, I think Peyton Manning is the greatest quarterback of all time, but you know what? Tom Brady has some good attributes. Now, I don't really have any Tom Brady here, but you know what? He played in New England for a long time, basically the city of Boston. So, you know what? Those Peyton Manning people are delusional. You know, you want to know something? Tom Brady's a GOAT. Here's why Tom Brady's a GOAT. 7 Super Bowl rings. He has one hand covered in Super Bowl rings. What does that tell you? The other thing about Tom Brady, and an article by the Indy Star, here's what they say. Head-to-head, Tom Brady has the winning record against Peyton Manning of 11-6. He has won 11 of those 17 games over Peyton Manning, including a couple playoff wins. But those were in the divisional wildcard round. And the thing is, doesn't matter. Tom Brady wins in the regular season, and Tom Brady wins in the playoffs. He also wins Super Bowls. He's won 7. Let's be real. Over his career from 2000 to 2022, but 2021, he has won 7 Super Bowls, and he's also won a Super Bowl with 2 different teams, which Peyton Manning has done, but Peyton Manning did that first. Either way, Tom Brady, over the years, has NFL records now for career records. He has more touchdowns than Peyton Manning in his career. He has more yards than Peyton Manning in his career. He has started and won more games than Peyton Manning in his career. He has the most playoff wins of any quarterback in his career. He has doubled the amount of wins, tripled the amount of wins than any other quarterback in the playoffs in NFL history. I don't know what that has to tell you, but it tells me Tom Brady's the GOAT. Tom Brady has taken teams like Bill Belichick as his head coach, and he has gone the distance, not once, not twice, not 3 times, not 4 times, not 5 times, but 6 times with one NFL coach, with one NFL team too. One of the greatest dynasties. That's why he's the GOAT. Tom Brady, since he's gotten in the league, has been one of the greatest quarterbacks. Being drafted in the 6th round, late in the 6th round, he wasn't even supposed to be here, but he's still the GOAT. I mean, let's be real. According to an article by Bree Emeritus on Sports Illustrated, Tom Brady, Texas, and America, not just Texas, but America agree that Tom Brady is a GOAT, because not only did he just win a Super Bowl with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, it was his 2nd team, but also his 7th Super Bowl. And he also proved to everyone that he's not a system quarterback, that he can do it with a different team. What does that tell me? Tom Brady's the GOAT. Tom Brady is the GOAT. He almost had a perfect season. He had a perfect regular season, only quarterback in NFL history to ever have that. He also is the only quarterback in NFL history to go into the playoffs with having said perfect season and setting records that were broken, but now he has records that are not going to be broken. What those delusional, like, Brady's the GOAT people had to say. But here's what I have to say about Peyton Manning. The reason why Peyton Manning is also the GOAT, because guess who's going in the Hall of Fame this year after he retired? Peyton Manning. He's going to the Hall of Fame. First ballot Hall of Famer. There was no doubt that he was going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. But Peyton Manning has also been the first one, before Brady ever did any of these feats, you know. He was the one who did it first. He has more touchdowns. He had more touchdowns, more passing yards, more completions, more this and everything you can think of before Tom Brady even eclipsed it. Tom Brady has been chasing Peyton Manning his whole career. He has less MVPs than Peyton Manning. Tom Brady only has like 2 NFL MVPs. Peyton Manning, I don't know, 5? 5? Yeah, 5. That means he was the most valuable player to his team. What does that tell you about Tom Brady? How valuable was he to his team? Obviously not valuable enough. Because guess what? Peyton Manning's a GOAT. He may have 2 Super Bowl rings, but rings ain't everything. Rings are not everything. And that's why Peyton Manning's a GOAT. He played this game. He revolutionized the position of the quarterback more than any other quarterback has before. And that's why I think Peyton Manning's a GOAT. Have a wonderful rest of your day. I'm glad you got to hear what I had to say. Now, I mean, we might have to hear what Tom Brady's people have to say again, but I'm glad you heard that Peyton Manning. You had to hear from those guys again? Gosh. You know why Tom Brady's a GOAT? I'm not just going to say from the experience, but Tom Brady has beaten Peyton Manning more times than Peyton Manning's beat Tom Brady. Tom Brady, my quarterback, won us 6 championships to his measly 2. 2? Rings are everything when it comes to this. Tom Brady has 7 rings. He's got Peyton Manning, 2. He can have all the MVPs. He can have this and that. But Tom Brady's a GOAT for a few reasons, because he has taken his teams to places that no other quarterback has taken his teams. He has 7 Super Bowl rings, like I've said. He has one of the most comebacks in the NFL, more than any other quarterback in the NFL. Ever. And that's even more than some like John Elway, Peyton Manning, all these other guys. So to think that Tom Brady hasn't done much with his career and that he's just this, 6th round pick that just got lucky. He didn't get lucky. He has skill. He has the drive. He can win. He's a winner. You don't know why he's a winner? He has 7 Super Bowl rings, 6 with one team. That is not heard of. The last person to do that in sports, the other GOAT considered, Michael Jordan, did it 6 times with the Bulls. Tom Brady has 7 rings. He has more rings than almost any other athlete in sports will ever have. To rest my case, Tom Brady is a GOAT for those reasons. And if you don't think so, well, you're just as delusional as those Peyton Manning people. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And don't forget, Tom Brady's a GOAT.